Hello everyone, welcome to another UConn project video update. My name is Lou Gett. Today we are on the Innovation Partnership building, and it's the 1st of July. Last time we were out was towards the end of March, and we're going to take you through the great progress they've made since the last time that we were here. So this is a vantage point that we're going to come back to each time that we visit the site. The last time we were out here, they were just getting prepared and some minor steel was beginning, the erection was beginning to start. So today all of the steel is installed. We're taking a look at the main entrance over here. So the lab bar is what they call. It's completely installed. So what you see right up here, this was a topping off beam with the UConn painted white. And that's a historic process of construction started many years ago when the iron workers put the last beam to the top. They call it the topping off in some of the cities, and it was a milestone of the construction process, and people are allowed to sign it. You see all the names. We'll try to get a little bit closer look in a minute. People put their names on it and they stay. The last time we were here, we talked a lot about the giant girder beams that were coming across here, the W40 by 503s. That's 40 inches from the top flange to the bottom flange, 503 pounds per linear foot. And they're assembled, obviously, as you can see, and the V columns are in place that we talked a little bit about the last time, supporting. So the floor is supported at the towers on the north tower, the V columns. Pretty magnificent span here, which provides the unique look to the building. So this area is open, will stay open. So we'll give you a little information on the towers. There's a north tower and a south tower, and understand the towers are really built for several reasons. Obviously they supply structural support for the clear span that we saw earlier, but mainly they're to house elevators and what we call risers. And those are locations for all of the mechanicals to run from floor to floor to floor. So we're going to walk in the north for a second. So there's a girder that comes across, provides support. You see some ductwork is being installed. So all the ductwork, all the plumbing, all the lab gases, vacuums, all of the mechanicals will run in these risers. And this is actually a look at an open shaft. The elevator will come. There's going to be 2 elevators in the north tower. So it's not that often you get a chance to see what we call an elevator hoistway that's empty at this time. Eventually this will be filled with 2 active cars. And that's the elevator pit, little sump, what we call, into the corner. So the towers also are a place for stairs. So get a chance to take a look at the iron workers on an early assembly of what we call the stair stringers. That would be a platform that goes in. They bolt the platforms in. The next thing is we call the stringers. You can see the risers and the steps, or the treads and risers, what we call. So we'll take a quick peek at the AMIC from the upper levels here. This is what we call high bay construction, where they'll have a very large clear span, some cranes in here to be able to move materials around and to be able to work in what we call a high bay capacity. The slabs are in, so they installed the structural steel, then they poured the slabs here. We'll take a closer look. The precast has been installed. So actually it's a great opportunity to see the finished precast on the ACL wing that's over here to our south, and then what the precast looks like on the inside with the insulation and the tape. And those are what we call little stick pins that are shot to the back side of the precast, have a large washer on it, to be able to hold the insulation in place. On the 3rd floor of the lab bar, in between the north and south towers, to give you a little view of what's inside a slab that you normally don't get a chance to see. So we have wire mesh on top of what we call chairs. The chairs support the wire mesh to a specific elevation. And then also they weld these, what we call shear pins, to be able to lock the slab to the structural steel. So it doesn't have a chance to do any sliding whatsoever at all. It really locks in. So the shear pins are fastened with an electro welder. Sometimes they weld them by hand, and then they're all tested ahead of the placement. So we're now on the 4th floor of the lab bar, over the 3rd floor. So we're in the mechanical space. It's all high bay area that serves the lab bar underneath. So also a great opportunity to take a look at a new Hilti product here. In the past, the slab was poured, they put sleeves in there for the mechanical penetrations. Hilti now has a one-stop shop assembly for the penetration that offers the fire stopping in the penetration itself. So much easier. The concrete's cast around a device that already has it's a UL rating, fire stopping ability into it. Makes it much easier for the contractors going forward. So mechanical spaces always have floor drains. That's what you're seeing in this row right in here. The floor drains right in through here. A diagonal bracing for supports. And this slab is getting ready for placement, I would imagine, within the next week or so. Great opportunity. We're on the 4th floor to take a look at what we call the stairwell ahead of the construction. And we were just talking a little bit about how the stairwell is constructed with the platforms and the stringers. The iron workers will work their way all the way up here. They have set a beam all the way at the top to be able to use for their hoisting, to be able to hold the materials in. So shortly this view will never be available again. The stair tower will actually come all the way up through here into the penthouse. Again, an early view of what we call the riser chase. You know, the large ductwork that comes all the way up to the 4th floor here, that will actually travel through over the top of the stair tower and comes into the mechanical space that we were just looking at over the lab bar. So the construction, the steel is done, the concrete is placed on both the north and south wings. So the next step will be the roofing process, and then I understand these are to be green roofs, and then the planning finally will come after that. To the design, the texture of the precast panels. It's not what you see every day with the projection. So we'll show you a little quick look on how that they're installed. Pretty simply put, they use a plastic washers to get the alignment just right on all of the joints. That's what we really look for. We look for the alignment on that, and then eventually later on they come and they weld permanent clips. So they have some means. You can see the bolt over there of adjustments in and out. And we talked earlier about how their precast panels are fastened to the structural steel. So once they get them all in place, they put the permanent anchors on, and they stay forever. So we'll take a look at the modern plan table. In the old days, every foreman for each trade had a little wooden plywood table with all of his plans on it. So this is a workstation that Skanska is using here. This is modern technology. This is set up with a Procore software program that has the latest drawings. So anytime there's a revision or an RFI, the drawings are updated and the contractors have the latest revision to build off of. Definitely 21st century technology, and it's where the future is going for keeping up-to-date plans on site. So we're in basement level 1 looking at some of the mechanicals, and we'll take a quick minute. So these are all exhaust hoods, fume hoods, and they're all done in stainless steel for the type of a product that's going to pass through. You can see the welds on the stainless up over through here. And again, what we were talking about, the towers earlier and the service used for the risers, and you can see all the ductwork penetrating. This is the north tower that we're looking at, and they'll go into the risers that we talked about previously and be transported up to the roof areas. So on the mechanical side, we're entering into the chiller room. So this building has 3 chillers. The 2 are under the tarps. This is the 3rd one here, and they're just getting started. Eventually this will be all piping in through here. So over the top of the chillers, the classic definition is the headers that go over the top. and then they branch off over from there. Circulation pumps have been set. Those will all get piped in. Will come. You can see the hangers for the header are placed and well ahead of the piping. So this is the area that will provide the cooling for the whole building. We're walking in the ACL wing, and the isolated slab was recently poured this week. That's what you see, still being protected by the blanket. So even in the summertime, you need to protect or hold the moisture into the concrete. So that's why they have the blankets on it, so that it can provide a slow curing process to be able to come up to its maximum strength, rather than dehydrating or losing the water in the process. Concludes our project update of the IPB building on July 1st. We thank you for your interest on this UConn project. Have a great day. Remember to subscribe to our UConn PAES channel. Once subscribed, on the left-hand side, manage subscriptions. To the right, the gearbox symbol. A check next to send me all notifications for this channel with the save. Now, anytime we add a project, update a project, you will receive an automatic email notification. We thank you for your interest in our UConn projects. Have a great day.